in the last part of this assignment, what I'd like us to do is do a simple sketch of, you can either use this photograph of this bird, or if you have a photograph you prefer to use, but just a simple reference. Something like a bird is good, because you can break it down into very simple shapes. Now, what you see here is essentially we can look at this structure and we could build it basically with ovals or ellipses. And you can see I've drawn axis lines that follow the position of each ellipse. And in the body of the bird, for example, you can see it's more or less would fit into that type of structure. And you can see the angle of it follows basically from its tail up through the ellipse almost to its neck. And positioned on top, the head is definitely also fits into elliptical form, and it's facing more straight forward. And you can kind of use the beak to see how that moves forward. So what I'd like you to do is, based on what we're looking at with the bird, is start out using the same gestural methods and do a light sketch using ellipses and circles and lines to draw a simple object like a bird. But be loose, don't go into too much detail. And you can see here, I started by drawing a slight angled axis line, and then a loose ellipse around it to basically form the body of the bird. So the next thing I'm going to do is add another ellipse for the head, and I'm going to draw a straight horizontal line, more or less straight, since the axis line that I determined in the photograph is the bird is looking straight forward. So just a loose oval, it's a little more of an oval than an ellipse. And then, still working from the shoulder and feeling your way around the ellipse you just drew, start connecting the two ellipses. Now, there's going to be many ways that you can do it, but don't overthink it. Just use the gesture from your shoulder and the overhand drawing technique, and feel the way that it makes sense to connect those forms with a gestural line that makes sense between the two shapes. Use the axis line, you can see there, to extend the beak and the eye. And now I'm going to add the tail using the lower right axis line as it sticks off into the lower portion of the drawing.